Hello, my friends. We're back. We are back with the Misadventures of Yama and Ava. We did not progress the story any further than where we left it last night, so Ava and Yama are still sitting in a cabin in the wilderness of Alaska drinking burnt bean water out of cracked ceramic mugs, apparently. But I do have some really cool information for you guys. So, remember how yesterday I said that once the next round of codes came out, I would have codes for anybody that was in my chat? If you guys come into my chat tonight and you have need of a void code, you haven't used one yet, or you don't know uh, if you've got an invite or whatever, you can message in the chat and I will send you a DM with an invite code that can get you into the world of Voyage. And what that code does, so it doesn't just get you into Voyage like in the multiplayer, because you can go into the multiplayer anytime you want to. What the code does is give you full access to Voyage. Now, I will tell you, if you are a free subscriber, as in you do not have any subscription to AI Dungeon or Voyage or any of that stuff, you are going to be limited on how much you can do because usage is a thing. It's like right here. Usage costs you a certain amount per week, per day, per turn. So if you are on free tier, it's kind of like getting a demo version of Voyage. And then, if you want more, you do have to pay for it. So that is something that is worth bearing in mind and worth thinking about if you definitely want to get a code, is whether you're going to actually, possibly and potentially subscribe to it, or if you're just going to remain at the free tier. It's absolutely fine if that's where you kind of want to go. I'm not going to sit there and tell anybody that they are required. Hey, Bean, I'm not going to tell anybody that they're required to subscribe to Voyage. But if it is something that you do want to do, definitely do it because it is worth it. Even if you're at the $15 tier, like honestly, you get a decent amount of usage for the $15 tier. So yeah, I got 3 invite codes. So if anybody that is in the chat that has not had one yet, just send a message in the chat and I will give them out as and when I see people that need them. But yes, we are back with Ava and Yama. Say hi, Grim.
Greetings and salutations, everyone.
Yeah. So I don't know if you were here yesterday, Bean, but we had to restart our whole adventure with Ava and Yama because we ran into some technical issues with the first save. So we had to restart it. So yeah, now we're in Alaska, in the Alaskan wilderness, in a cabin in the woods, because that doesn't sound ominous at all. We all know what happens when main characters get trapped in a cabin in the woods, and it's never, ever, ever good. But this one may end up being okay. So, we might be all right. We might be. Might. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Um, how do we want to progress this then? I think we've done enough of the slice of life stuff. I think we should just be like, hey, I'm gonna go to bed and sleep. Because that'll refresh all of our stamina too.
Right, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Sleeping is good. Sleeping is good even in this game. All right, so we're gonna type Eva curls up next to the fire. Or, well, not next to, because then it's actually gonna put me next to it because like it's so specific. Near to the fire. And falls asleep. Falls asleep. There we go. That will work. I don't know how is Yama gonna sleep in it? Because he's like so huge. Yama. It's just Yama. Yama doesn't know what he's doing. Yama is just Yama. Oh, shit.
I do apologize, everybody.
Uh, Sipping the coffee slowly, Ava says, "It's better than nothing." Ava sets her ceramic mug on the oak table and moves toward the center, or the corner of the room closest to the radiating heat of the iron stove. She pulls her weathered leather coat tighter around her slight frame and settles onto the floor, using her will to briefly soften the molecular structure of the wooden floorboards beneath her until they provide the slight give of a mattress. Ooh, I do like that. "Wake me up if anything changes." Yama nods once and pulls a sturdy wooden chair toward the door, his massive frame creaking the furniture as he sits. He rests his hands on his knees, his golden tattoos pulsing with a dim, rhythmic glow that provides a faint amber light in the darkening cabin. The night passes in absolute silence, the only sound the occasional groan of the cedar walls shifting under the weight of the Alaskan snow. As the hours go by, the fire in the stove dies down to a bed of glowing embers, and the biting cold begins to seep back through the cracks in the cabin's timber. Pale, blue-tinted morning light eventually pierces through the grime-streaked windows, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the frigid air. The smell of coffee has faded, replaced by the sharp, clean scent of frost and old ash. Ava stirs as the first direct beam of sunlight hits her face, her eyes shifting from silver back to their deep violet as she regains consciousness. She finds herself covered by a heavy, moth-eaten wool blanket that wasn't there when she fell asleep. Yama stands by the window, his large hands behind his back as he peers through a small gap in the forest. Oh, in the frost. I'm sorry. He looks as though he hasn't moved in hours, his grey, stone-like skin catching the morning light, though his tattoos are now completely dark. Okay, we'll wait for Yama.
The wind down an hour. We should move before the sun gets too high.
Okay. So apparently, yeah, you didn't get any stamina back, which is actually really bad. Because you kind of needed it. Okay, so here's the thing. We can do an undo if you want to, and you can actually like type your thing in. Okay. So,
Yeah, definitely.
okay. So I'm going to show you guys what happens when you get to a point in your story and you're like, I don't like where this is going, and I didn't like kind of how that read. So if you type slash, it comes up with all the commands right there, and you just type undo, and you hit the arrow button and it removes that entire turn for you. So you then can redo your turn. Now, that is not going to give you your usage back for that turn. You used your usage, so it's going to take another, tick of usage off of you for doing that. But, everybody needs a reset once in a while, and we just had ours. So, I am actually going to give you some more time. Well, okay, there we go. I'm actually going to give you some more time to take your turn, so you're not limited to like the 2-minute countdown or whatever the hell it is. So let's hope that works. Okay. What am I saying? Ava sips the coffee. It warms her up a little, and then she finds a space near the fire and falls asleep. Okay, yeah, that gives you a lot more time to put your words in. So happy days. Yeah, I think this one is going a lot better. than the last one did. I feel like we're not under attack as much in this one. So that's a positive. It's given us some more downtime, which I like. Yama sits down, legs crossed, and rests. Aw, that's awesome. And let's see what it gives us this time. Come on, state engine, catch up with us. Let's go. We're not going that slowly. Okay, there we go. I just realized it is actually streaming on YouTube as well, and I didn't even notice that. See, that's why I was thinking like maybe it was something wrong yesterday because it was like doing weird stuff yesterday with regards to like the dual stream, but today it's not having an issue. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I promise you I have not been ignoring your chat. I just genuinely did not realize that I was doing a dual stream on YouTube as well, and that is completely my bad. So hi everybody on YouTube. I apologize. Okay. So, let's get back into this. Ava sipping the coffee. It's a bit rustic, but the warmth is enough. Ava moves away from the oak table, her boots thudding softly on the dusty floorboards as she finds a patch of warmth near the base of the iron stove. She settles into the wood, her head resting against her tucked knees as her eyes lose their violet shimmer and drift shut. Her breathing slows, sinking into the rhythmic crackle of the dying fire. Okay. Yama lowers his massive stone-like frame to the floorboards, his weight causing the old cedar to groan and settle. He crosses his legs in a wide, grounding stance, resting his back against the cabin wall while keeping his gaze fixed on the door. His golden tattoos dim to a faint, occasional pulse as he settles into a state of unmoving, heavy rest. The fire in the stove eventually burns down to a bed of dull embers, and the rich scent of coffee fades into the biting chill of the night. Outside, the Alaskan wind whistles through the spruce trees, but the cabin remains a silent, freezing vault. Morning light eventually breaks through the grime streaked windows, pale and sharp against the dust. The interior of the cabin has grown frigid, and a delicate layer of frost has crystallized across the iron stove and the edges of the mugs left on the table. Ava stirs as the weak sunlight hits her face, her muscles stiff from the hard floor and the drop in temperature. Her breath plumes in the cold air of the room, which has become silent and still. Yama remains in the same cross-legged position by the wall, a thin dusting of frost clinging to his grey shoulders and hair. His eyes are open and alert, watching the light move across the floorboards. Okay, good. It gave you stamina back. Excellent. That's what we wanted to see. So, happy days. Happy days. Okay. So yeah, so you want to
So yeah, since we got our rest, I'd say we set the stage to adventure for.
Okay, so we want to keep going south towards where we think civilization is, yeah?
Yeah, keep
Okay.
going.
Okay. So we're gonna like go back outside and do the same thing that we did before where we manipulate the monocles of the air and fly. Yay! Because we're doing science things. All right. Ava gets up, stretches, yawns, rubs the sleep from her eyes. Here we go. All right, that's what Ava's doing. That's pretty good, you know? Pretty good. I even put correct punctuation into that. And I spell everything correct. Something must be wrong with me. I'm just saying. Potentially, there's something wrong. Like, quit spelling things correctly. It's just weird, all right? It's just weird. We're used to all your spelling mistakes by now. Stop it. Yeah. I think he's writing an essay about what he's doing. Maybe. This is where you sit there like and go, just because you have 5 minutes doesn't mean you need to take 5 minutes. Also, I am writing another world, and it's a comedy world, and it's based on like heroes and villains, except the villains are actually the good guys, because every time they try to do something villainous, it actually ends up fixing stuff and not breaking it. So that's my next world that I'm creating. I'm super excited because I got into the Voyage Creator program, and I'm like, yes, it's so exciting because I get to play with things. Yeah. All right. Ava pushes herself up from the dusty floorboards, her joints popping in the morning quiet. If your joints are popping at like age, how old is she? She's like 25 or something. There's something. There's something wrong with you. At least I think she's like 25. I don't know. Oh, look, my XP went up, and I don't understand how my XP went up, but whatever. She stretches her arms high above her head, her breath appearing as a pale mist in the sub-zero air of the cabin. Hey, big guy. We should think about heading out, yeah? Yama uncoils his frame from the wall, the frost on his shoulders crackling and falling away as he stands. He lets out a massive, bone-deep yawn that vibrates through the floorboards and causes the grime-streaked window panes to rattle in their frames.
Any of that fisherman coffee left?
No. He moves toward the oak table, his large hand brushing against the frost-covered surface as he peers into the copper pot. The dregs of the coffee from the night before have solidified into a dark, frozen disc at the bottom of the metal vessel. In other words, yeah, there's coffee, but it's frozen. I wonder if I could, like, restart the fight. Like, oh, I could. Oh, hold on. I'm going to do something for you. Yeah. Because I'm so awesome. Unfreeze the coffee. Oyama. Dang. It's cold. It's cold, but it's still coffee. There. I unfroze the coffee. Hopefully. Hopefully the skill check works. That's the big question, you know? Does the skill check actually work? Mm-mm-mm-mm. I feel like I need some like lo-fi or music on in the background that kind of gives you guys an idea about something. I think I have an ability. Do I have? Oh, I want to get that ability so bad. I can't yet though because I don't have enough action points. But we're working on that. We're working on that. What do I have in my inventory? I have a cast iron skillet. My cast iron skillet gives +1 damage. What? Okay. That sure. I think maybe wait. Oh wait. Okay, so I got my side. Wait, I can equip more. Okay, hold on. I can equip more weapons. Can I equip the fucking cast iron skillet and use that as my weapon now? Because that would be brilliant. I'm just saying. Mm, mm, mm. Are you doing okay? Are you writing an essay? Yeah, I think he's writing everything he possibly can do. But yeah, anyway, I was saying I got into the Voyage creator thingy. And I kept telling them, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you made a mistake because I think I'm in here for no reason. So my worlds aren't even like that popular, but it's also because I have niche like subjects in my worlds. So a lot of people, maybe they're not interested in the Dragon Riders of Pern, or they're not interested in like a mega city in the future where like you're a prisoner and the only way to get out is like the Hunger Games. Get sponsorship or serve your sentence and don't die. Um, so maybe I don't know, but yeah, like I was saying, the next world that I'm making is going to be a comedy world because I don't know how well the AI can do comedy, and I'm trying to give it the narrator kind of feel of George Carlin. So we're we're gonna see if it can emulate George Carlin and his particular brand of comedy. And we're gonna have like author seeds of like Robin Williams and Mel Brooks and things like that. I think I might throw Douglas Adams in there for some sarcasm and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Ava fixes her gaze on the frozen copper pot, her eyes shimmering with a violet hue as she exerts her will over the molecular bonds within the vessel. The solid disk of ice at the bottom begins to churn and liquefy, the dark coffee returning to its fluid state in a matter of seconds. It's cold, but it's still coffee. Yama leans in and releases a brief, violent roar that sends a shockwave through the cabin. The dust on the rafters jumps and the iron stove rattles, but the kinetic energy of the vibrations is instantly drawn into the golden tattoos on Yama's skin, making them flare with a brilliant light.
Yatta.
Okay, so I was just gonna I'm just gonna explain why I'm laughing right now because
Yatta.
exactly I told he, Grim who plays Yama, I was like, listen, if you say yata in your character, all I'm gonna see is the guy from Heroes that stands there and goes yata. Like that's it. That's all I see now.
Takiwa Hiro Nakamura.
Right, right. Oh, jeez. The copper pot groans as Yama forces the absorbed energy into it, the metal turning a dull cherry red as the coffee inside flashes into a violent boil. The heat is uneven, causing the oak table to hiss and smoke where where the pot rests, and a sudden burst of scalding steam forces Yama to pull his face back as the liquid bubbles over the rim. Good job, Yama. Now you're burning the house down. Wait, oh, dude, I gave you a resource buff to your stamina. Look at me. I'm so nice to you. I don't know how I did that, but apparently I did. Coffee. That's what it was. I gave you coffee.
The resource, indeed.
All right. Yeah, I think it's time to get out of here. Ava leaves the cast iron skillet, the 2 coffee mugs, copper pot. I need to make sure that I put all of this in because otherwise it'll try and take it with me, and I don't want to take it with me. The 2 ceramic mugs. The copper pot. And the coffee canisters behind. And steps out into the cold, frigid air. Saying, "Oh, it's cold." That's what she would say. She'd be like, "Oh, it's cold." As soon as Yama joins her, she uses matter manipulation to alter their. Oh, wait, no, I gotta climb up. Okay, hold on. Joins her, she climbs back onto Yama's shoulder. And enabling them to fly or move. He says, keep going south. All right. That's what I'm doing. It's a long, like, I don't know if the AI is going to be able to understand all of that and do all of that. It may get confused because that's a lot of things that it has to think about. Like, so we're going to test it. We're going to test it and we're going to see if it can do all of that stuff. We shall see. We got in our journal. We haven't actually visited that place. That's not where we're at. We've got yeah. So I did that so that it because it'll go back and it'll remember that. We haven't found any factions yet, I don't think. I don't think we've found any factions yet. So yeah. Okay. I hear people walking around upstairs. I think my kids are up. Well, at least one of them is up, running around like a crazy person. Are you writing an essay? I hope you guys are getting a good steer about how multiplayer works. And like I've said before, any questions that you have or any comments about Voyage that you kind of want to ask or say or whatever of that nature, feel free because I'm not the wealth of knowledge, but I have an idea about things. I have an idea, a good idea. So, oh, cool. We got basic success and great success. Excellent. We like this. I love how it gives me +10 because I do a familiar action. I like this. Okay. Ava leaves the cast iron skillet, the ceramic mugs, the copper pot, and the coffee canisters sitting on the oak table. She pushes open the heavy cedar door and steps out onto the frost covered porch. Oh, it's cold. When Yama follows her outside, Ava climbs onto his massive shoulder, anchoring herself against his neck. Keep going south. Ava exerts her will over their molecular structure, reducing their density until the air itself can support their weight. A faint violet shimmer envelops them both as the law of physics bend to her command. Yama feels the rush of kinetic energy generated by the transmutation. He draws the power into his golden tattoos, which flare with brilliance that outshines the morning sun. He redirects the absorbed force downward, creating a powerful, controlled propulsion that launches them high above the timberline. They travel 60 kilometers across the Alaskan landscape, the frigid wind whistling past them as Yama steers with a newfound accuracy. The jagged mountains of the interior begin to soften into a vast, rolling valley dominated by dense clusters of spruce and frozen marshland. Yama descends towards a wide open clearing bordered by a forest of birch trees. He lands with a heavy thud, his boots sinking deep into the powdery snow while he maintains his hold on Ava. The area is desolate and untouched. A few hundred yards away, a frozen riverbed winds through the valley like a jagged silver road, its surface covered in thick plates of buckled ice. No smoke rises from the trees, and the only movement comes from the swaying branches of the spruce under the weight of the morning snow. So we still haven't found civilization.
But the journey, the journey, the journey.
I feel like we're on our way to Mordor. Frodo, no.
Yeah, if I see anything, I'll let you know. See.
Lord. Uh Did we find a city, a town, anything in the way of actual people yet? That's what I'm looking for. I don't know, in other words. Maybe. Eventually, we'll find like an actual place. Because right now we have no quest. We don't even know where we're going. So it's like, we're just going to aimlessly wander until we find somewhere, you know? I feel like that's our best option right now. Just keep going until we find somewhere to go. I think if I keep saying to the AI that we're looking for like a city or civilization or something, it might actually eventually give us a town or a city, you know? Oy, Okay. Oh, you see lights in the distance. He's trying to force it.
Trying to nudge it.
Yeah. Yama stands in the deep snow of the clearing, his grey skin catching the pale morning light as he adjusts Ava's weight on his shoulder. The silence of the valley is absolute, broken only by the occasional crack of a frozen branch in the birch forest. Did we find a city, a town, anything in the way of actual people yet? Yama turns his head slowly, scanning the horizon where the rolling hills meet the sky. His eyes narrow, focusing on a faint, rhythmic glimmer that persists through the morning haze miles to the south, distinct from the natural reflection of the snow.
You may have something. Seems
Okay.
pretty excited about that.
Yeah, he sounds so excited.
Yatta!
God. All right. That time was like really short. I don't like that. I require longer writing. Whatever. Um. No. What are we waiting for then? Huzzah! Those are my words. Let's go. I really need to figure out ways of filling the void of silence with words. Because I feel like you guys are sitting around just like watching, waiting. And it's like, what do I say to you guys in the middle of this? You know, like what do you want to talk about? What do we discuss? Just waiting for another turn. Okay, I ask, where do we think the AI is going to drop us out at? Because there's a bunch of different locations it could potentially drop us at. See, it says that we're in space, but we're definitely not in space, right? So apparently we're heading towards wherever Oakhaven is, but we shouldn't be. We should be heading towards America. So if it puts us in Oakhaven, we're gonna have to correct it and tell it no, we should be in America. We should have gone through Canada and we should be somewhere on the west coast of America at this point. Please. Like, just please. Stop making us look at the Alaskan wilderness. We would really appreciate that. I could just teleport us. You can do that. Like, you can just click a place and be like, oh, poof, we're there now. And it will actually take you there. I kind of don't want to do that. I want the story to progress us there. But if it doesn't, then I'm just gonna click a location and we're just gonna go there because I don't want to keep wasting time and usage trying to get to a city. You know what I mean? Because like see, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's like, okay, it's not using that much, but it's still annoying that if I was on a single player right now and I was playing this and it hadn't gotten me to a city yet, I'd be kind of pissed. I'd be like, okay, what the fuck is going on? You know, like why aren't we progressing? So yeah, if it puts us in Oakhaven, I might just be like, okay, no, we're not there. We're gonna go and like fast travel to either LA or Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., or New York City because I don't want to keep wasting time trying to get somewhere. So, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. In my head, it makes sense. So, you know. I love how Yama just says that. Like, let's. It's taking forever. There we go. Apparently, I'm clinging to his collar. And I say, well, what are we waiting for then? Let's go. Yama.
Let's.
We got your so. He's so excited. Yama sinks his weight into the powdery clearing, the ground groaning as he prepares to launch. His golden tattoos flare with a sudden intense radiance, drawing in the kinetic potential of his coiling muscles. Ava focuses her mind, her eyes shimmering with a silver violet light as she unmoors them from the weight of the world. The air around them ripples and warps, becoming a protective envelope as she reduces their molecular density to a near weightless state. With a thunderous boom that sends a shockwave through the birch forest, Yama kicks off. A geyser of snow and ice erupts behind them as they streak across the sky, tracing the winding silver path of the frozen river toward the southern horizon. The rhythmic glimmer resolves into the sweeping arc of a high-intensity searchlights. Oh, that's not good. As they bank over a jagged, snow-dusted ridge, a massive industrial complex comes into view, its reinforced concrete walls and silver-domed structures nestled deep within a hidden canyon. Yama slows their descent, hovering briefly over the perimeter. Below, armored sentinels patrol the catwalks of a facility marked with the stark, crimson emblem of a double helix entwined around a sword, its gates humming with the static of a high-frequency security grid. What the fuck did we just walk into? I think we need to leave. This does not look good. Yeah, I don't think we should stick around. I think we should maybe keep going. Excuse me. Oh, those do not look like friendly sentinels. No. No, they do not. It just says relationship neutral. Yama? Hello?
We need to go now.
Yama mad. I think we should maybe keep going. What happened? What happened? Okay. On the catwalk below, Armored Sentinel 1 marches toward the edge of the railing. The heavy clank of his boots against the steel grating echoes through the canyon as he reaches up to flip open his reinforced visor. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! We found Hydra! Oh, we're so dead. Armored Sentinel 1 doesn't even have a name. Identify yourselves. You have entered a restricted Hydra research zone. Does that sound like epic? I don't think that sounded epic, but whatever. State your authorization immediately. Beside him, Armored Sentinel 2 taps the side of his helmet, engaging a localized comms unit that projects his voice across the clearing with a mechanical hum. You can do the voice for that one.
The space is designed, designated. I don't know in the words what this is. Give me a second. I do apologize. I have to get my voice.
That's okay. You're good.
Mm. This airspace is a designated no-fly zone. Descend to the perimeter gate immediately for processing. La 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 la.
No. Run away.
No, said go back. Failure to comply will be met with defensive measures. Well, hold on. Here's the thing. If we're simply not complying, we're not really doing. Okay.
Yeah, I know, right? Huh. Red lights along the perimeter of the silver domed structures begin to rotate, and the high frequency security grid hums the rising pitch that vibrates the air around Yama and Ava. Oh, yeah. Um, we just need to go. Like,
Hydra. Oh, hell.
we just need to run.
You can teleport, right?
No, no, but I can astral project. So I could. Oh, wait. I have. Hold on, my brain is thinking here. I have telepathy. So I could make them think that we just disappeared. Or that just make them not even see us.
That would put them on alert too, because Hydra knows about that kind of stuff.
Okay, well, then the best thing to do is just to just try to get away from them, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do that.
Like, let's read about Hydra because I don't really know all that much about them. Factions is not even on here. Oh my! It's not even in the factions list. So it's like I can't even look them up. Yeah, this is not good. I think our best bet.
Yeah, yeah. Hydra. So just a brief thing with Hydra. Um, bad, bad. I mean, will play the long game. Multi-generational. Does not give a shit what measures are taken. Bad.
So our best bet is to fly really fast over them and just get out of there. We could do it. Yes. In Yama's ear. Um, I'm gonna. She begins to. In order to feed Yama's kinetic. Absorb. It's a P. Yes, I do know that. I really do. I just have really shit spelling, okay? All right. I think that is like that's a good enough setup for you, right? Okay. So the first flipping sign of any form of fucking civilization we find, it's bloody Hydra. That's fun. Yeah, we're just gonna give you somebody to go up against that's not even like in our wheelhouse of factions that we have. Like, yeah, no. No. Why would we do that? Yama's gonna take a minute because he has to write like a whole speech about how he does his things and using the things and breaking the things, mostly breaking the things. So, you know, we're just gonna wait for him to be done. This is gonna take a while. So talk amongst yourselves while we wait. How's the weather where you live? Here it's pretty cold. We've been like 60 degrees today. But we're gonna get warmer. We're starting to get up into the 70s, which is kind of nice. And not like stupid hot. So I have one of those hanging hammock chairs. I might take it off my front porch and put it in my backyard. I can just like sit down and relax in it. That sounds like a good plan. I'm gonna do that. Just make it 10 times harder for my son to mow the lawn. Yeah. Yeah. Because while we love our children, we also love making their lives 10 times harder. This is what we do. Okay. Haha. Huzzah! We successed! We like the success. It means Hydra's not going to Hydra's not going to chase us. Okay, so Ava, whispering in Yama's ear, says, "We really need to go." Ava focuses her mind on the atmosphere surrounding them, forcing the air molecules to vibrate against one another with violent intensity. I can say that word. A shimmering haze of friction erupts around her and Yama, generating a localized storm of heat and kinetic energy that feeds directly into the giant's skin. Ooh. Targets are non-responsive and maintaining altitude. Initiating engagement sequence. Uh-oh. Oh no. Sentinel-1 unslings his pulse rifle and braces the stock against his shoulder armor, centering his sights on Yama's massive chest. Nearby, Sentinel-2 activates the facility's alarm, sending a piercing siren echoing through the canyon while he tracks the targets through his helmet's HUD. Sentinel-3 rushes from a guard tower, his boots clattering on the metal catwalk as he calibrates a wrist-mounted energy projector for a synchronized strike. Yama draws the surging friction into his tattoos, his grey skin rippling as he converts the heat into raw momentum. With a sudden, explosive release of force, he kicks off the air himself, propelling them hundreds of feet upward and forward. They tear through the sky with mounting speed, the sonic boom of their departure rattling the facility's silver domes. The Hydra Sentinels and their glowing security grid vanish into the distance as Yama and Ava streak south across the wilderness, leaving the canyon far behind in a blur of white and green. Epic. I already have matter manipulation. Why is it saying that I just unlocked that? It's literally right here. I don't need that. I don't need that. It's so stupid. Oh dear. Okay. So we still haven't found anywhere to go. I'm just going to use the map. And like teleport us to a city. Where do you want to go? We've got Las Vegas, DC.
Far the hell away from there.
We have Las Vegas, DC, or New York.
Hmm.
Um, I'm thinking New York might be better. Yeah,
Yes.
because like in DC, we're gonna have to deal with like politicians and Shield because the Triskelion is in DC. All right, I'm just gonna click.
New York, New York.
Right, I'm gonna click New York City, and I'm gonna say travel here. Yes. So it'll write in how we travel to New York City. If you go to your map and you find America and then click New York City, it'll also put you in New York City as well. But I think we both have to say we're traveling there. Do you know how to find the map? Yeah. And then you just like, you'll see a bunch of different things. If you zoom out, you'll see America and then just find New York City. We're kind of cheating, but I'm also not wanting to keep going around in circles and not have anything to do. So, oh, also, I'm really excited because the Lego Batman game comes out on the 22nd, and I've earned enough of the Microsoft points to get like a $50 gift card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but if I want the deluxe edition, which I totally want the deluxe edition, it's like $90, so I need to save up to get the rest of it. Okay, Ava, clinging to his neck, says, "We can't stay in the wild forever. Let's head for the coast, all the way to New York City." Yama nods and shifts his weight, his golden tattoos flaring as he prepares to sustain a much longer flight across the continent. Back at the facility, Vincent Frost lowers his pulse rifle as the targets vanish into the clouds, their sonic boom rattling his visor. He keys his long range comms, reporting the unauthorized breach and the rapid trajectory of the anomalies to Hydra Central Command. Oh shit. Well, fuck. Sebastian Sterling monitors the thermal boom on his HUD until it fades, then begins logging the energy signature and flight pattern into the facility's database. He signals for a maintenance crew to check the structural integrity of the silver domes following the sonic impact. The pair streaks across the sky, leaving a shimmering wake of heat as they cover dozens of kilometers in minutes. The rugged canyon walls give way to a sprawling expanse of timber and frozen waterways that stretch toward the horizon. They descend into a remote stretch of wilderness, landing in a quiet valley where the snow is deep and the air is perfectly still. Skeletal trees crowd the slopes of the surrounding hills. No, this is wrong because we're supposed to be in New York City, not landing. Okay, I'm gonna like yell at the fucking narrator right now because it's not doing what we need it to do. So we are supposed to be in New York City. Lord. Perhaps the narrator will put us in the right place now. It looks like I start the journey much too early. While the story mentioned traveling across the continent, the final scene ended with you landing in another remote valley. Yes. Ooh, if it puts us in Central Park, that's pretty cool. Like, come on. Come on, narrator. No, you get down. The dog's trying to jump up on me. All right, let's okay, so after that we go hours pass in a blur of wind and shifting landscapes. The rugged Alaskan mountains give way to the sprawling forests of Canada, then the Great Lakes, and finally the dense, glittering urban sprawl of the American East Coast. Yama's breathing is heavy, his tattoos glowing a dim, exhausted gold as they reach their final destination. They descend through the evening haze of New York City, the sky a bruised purple over the Manhattan skyline. Yama steers them towards the dark, sprawling heart of Central Park, seeking a secluded clearing away from the prying eyes of the millions below. They land softly on a patch of grass near a cluster of ancient moss-covered boulders. The air is warmer here, filled with the distant, constant hum of sirens and traffic, a stark contrast to the silence of the wilderness. Yama remains still for a moment, his hands braced on his knees as he recovers from the journey while the skyscrapers of the city loom like silent giants over the trees. That's actually pretty nice. We're in New York now. We don't know what we're doing in New York, but, we're in New York. I say we go look for Spider-Man. Yes, X-Mansion! Yay! I mean, I'm going to assume that they're going to show up at some fucking point because we just left a massive, massive psychic trail. So Cerebro is going to have picked up on that. Plus, we have Hydra that's kind of pissed off with us now too. So we have a lot of people that are kind of annoyed with us. So, we probably need to find shelter and food, but we have no money. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Dude. Grim just told me I should use matter manipulation to make money. That's genius. Around how much? Like $1,000? $5,000 to allow them to get a hotel and some food and some clothes. Now, watch the AI say, I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you to do this because that is criminal activity. Watch it happen. Watch it happen. That's going to be our luck, Or it's going to force me to fail because it doesn't want me to do this. We're committing crimes out here. Yeah. I mean, realistically, it's not like... It is a crime. But, it's not a crime. It's just survival. What are you talking about? I told you it was going to make me fail. Fucking asshole. Like, why should you be allowed to do this? You shouldn't be allowed to. It's like I got all those bonuses, and it's like, no. Ava kneels by a pile of discarded newspapers and windblown leaves caught against the granite boulder. Her eyes ignite with a shimmering violet silver light as she extends her hands, her mind reaching into the atomic structure of the trash. We just need enough to blend in. A hotel, some food. I can fix this.
I've seen kings and gods, Ava, but making wealth out of thin air, that's a new kind of magic.
The molecules of the newsprint. Yeah, right. The molecules of the newsprint begin to vibrate and rewrite themselves under Ava's psychic grip. The grey paper bleeds into the distinct green and white linen of high denominational currency, a stack of bills rapidly thickening between her palms as the air hums with the force of the transmutation. Oh, fucking Hydra. High above the tree line, a sleek, triangular Hydra tracer, having clung to Yama's thermal wake across the continent, drops from the evening haze and emits a localized high-frequency burst. A red light pulses on its chassis, broadcasting a discordant energy wave designed to disrupt molecular stabilization. The violet glow around the half-formed cache stutters and snaps like a dying light bulb. The green bills instantly lose their cohesion, crumbling into grey charred flakes and ordinary birch leaves that scatter across the dirt as the transmutation fails. I lost it. The signal. It's like the air itself is screaming at me. Fucking Hydra. Fucking Hydra. We lost Grim for like a few minutes. So I'm actually going to take this time to be right back, guys. Go refresh my water, do all that fun stuff because we have been like streaming for like an hour. So let me go and get some water and we will be back with you guys momentarily. Okay, guys. So I have a little bit of bad news, and I'm so sorry because I know some people are really excited about this tonight. Yama has to head out. He just got a message from someone, and some stuff is going on with some people he knows. So he has to go take care of business. And unfortunately, we can't have Ava and Yama without Yama being here. So we're going to go ahead and finish the stream for tonight. Before I go, is there anybody in the chat right now that does not have access to Voyage that would like a code to get into Voyage? Because I have some codes that I can give to you guys that will give you full access to Voyage. You won't just be stuck doing multiplayer, you'll actually get like full access to world building and all that kind of stuff. So, is there anybody in chat right now before I head out that would like a code to get into Voyage as it stands right now? I'll give you guys a minute to think about it. If there's anyone in the chat, I don't even know if there's anybody watching me right now. You'll wait for open beta. Are you sure, Leo? Because like the codes are free. I get them every week. And I want to make sure that people who actually want to get into Voyage can get into Voyage. So the code is completely, totally 100% available if you want it. I have like 3 of them. So you're not taking it from anybody else. If it's something that you really want, hey, it's yours. So just, if you change your mind, you can send me a DM on Twitch and I will send you the code. Okay? If you change your mind. So, all right, but okay, sounds good. I totally understand. But yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. And we are actually going to do a makeup stream because we just got to a really cool part. We're gonna do a makeup stream tomorrow morning Eastern time. So it'll probably be about maybe like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time to try and do kind of like a little bit of a makeup for having to get off so early tonight. So if you guys are around at that time, we will be streaming at that time and hopefully we'll see you guys then. But I hope you have, if I don't see you then, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Go out and enjoy the sunshine if you're going to get it. And we'll see